tried to hold us back, to hold us, tried to hold us back.
We will be here forever. Do you understand?
Hey, it's Shan here. This week I catch up with skateboarder, content creator and Olympic skate judge. It's Amy Massey. Amy takes us on a journey through a life so far, from growing up in the Gold Coast to moving to Sydney to traveling the world, skateboarding, judging and much, much more. Amy's so interesting. She literally lives a life by her own design, and we talk a lot about what that looks like and how it was accomplished. She talks a lot about going viral on social media and how that can have its bonuses and also its negatives. It's a great conversation. This week's guest co-host is friend and artist, Mr. Steve Tierney. So tune in for a great conversation. Enjoy.
Tried to hold us back.
Get what I'm saying?
Tried to hold us. He tried to hold us vain. Tried to hold us back. What's insane?
Child of the crayon, child of the light, stars of the neon belong to a culture destined to rock for eons. Time doesn't exist. Shut those cataracts, capture the virtualist. Now let's get back to what makes things seem forever, whether it's unseen, unheard, or it's 16 again. Not a bother. Feel this.
Hey, listen, have you seen the Chad Muska episode on Nine Club
I haven't
recently?
watched it yet.
Yeah, I watched it. Oh, I watched half of it yesterday.
How to make you feel?
Really good. Like he spat some really good words. I don't know. He's doing something for himself, which is awesome. Like he knows that he is his own brand, so he's making something of it, and people feel like they're like buying something from him, you know what I mean? It's like he's created this thing and they're supporting him. So like he's doing it differently, which is sick. And like he can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I found it really powerful. He said that quote was, "The power no longer lies in the industry, the power lies in the individual."
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I put that on my story yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah,
I put it on my
up.
story as well.
I like filmed it and was like, these are wise words because it's so true.
Do you think it's a really good representation of just modern pop culture?
Yeah, I think that everything's adapting, and like things aren't how they used to be. Like, of course, there's still always going to be that core side of skating, and people are going to go down that pathway. But now there's like new pathways you can go down, and you can make a living from doing, something for yourself rather than something for a company. Like you could create your own company in that sense, which is, it's awesome. Like individuals should be getting
For
this,
sure.
you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
Like it's entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
It is a modern day entrepreneurship. And I think instead of being like worker drones going to places we don't, like why not be an entrepreneur and create a lifestyle by design? Do you feel like that's what you've accomplished?
Yeah, I feel like I can accomplish more. Like I haven't hit my full potential in that. Like I want to do kind of what Chad's doing and create my own brand eventually down the lines. But yeah, right now I'm working with so many different brand deals and like obviously traveling for work as well. So like my lifestyle's really busy at the moment, but once it starts settling down, like I want to create something for myself, like a clothing brand or something and mostly for women skaters, because I guess like, we're always buying guys jeans and stuff like that. And I'd like to support women in the clothing styles. I don't know.
You got some ideas?
Yeah, definitely. Like I got heaps of ideas. Because like, I guess women skaters, like we have massive thighs. So like a lot of the jeans that like a normal girl would buy, they don't really fit because we've just got big muscles.
Right, yeah, okay.
Like obviously waists are wider as well.
that comes into play. So like you'll have like a wider waist, bigger thighs, and then it tapers in at the top. So like there's certain pants that you can wear that look really good, but I want to create my own style of it. Yeah.
So do you think that's the
nice.
next progression for you?
Yeah, like definitely. I want to do many things. Many things.
Like you're not done?
I mean,
By a long
not
shot.
like I'm I'm not skating as good as what I used to be able to skate. Like my body feels done. But that's just with age. And like I'm trying to look after myself now. Like I'm trying to get into stretching more and looking after my body because I'm realizing like as I'm getting older, everything's so much harder. Like warming up. Like
Steve.
Speaking of older, yeah.
just warming up, it can take an hour for me now. And then
Yeah.
I'm like feeling actually good. Like I can throw down after an hour of warming up.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I used to just do it in like 10 minutes and be like shredding, you know? So yeah, I guess
You
it's
skate mini ramp heaps though too. Do you find like, I find a good way to warm up even for street is to
Yeah.
just do a couple of
mini ramp
tricks.
Yeah, I
Just,
usually
like,
do that.
Warms you up instantly almost.
Yeah, it does. And like games of skate as
Yeah.
well. That's like another way like that I like to warm up.
Yeah.
Just hit up all the guys.
Do you find when you skate like mini ramp before a street session, you kind of lose your pop? Like you get tranny legs, like
I don't know.
transition
It's like
legs.
days, you know, you have days where, yes,
I don't
for
know.
sure. But
So
then
I try to avoid
sometimes- Yeah.
Do you
Sometimes-
skate transition? Like yeah.
I think I'd probably class myself more as a mini ramp champ.
Yeah.
Back in the day, like I forced myself to skate street,
Yeah, yeah.
but I feel like I really should have started it earlier, hitting the ledges. But I was always tranny.
Yeah,
skate.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I like everything. I couldn't like, you know how some people just like one or the other. I don't understand that because for me, skateboarding. So like,
Yeah.
I just love all of it. You know
But that's
what I mean?
come in this like last whatever
love that you
10,
said that.
15 years. Because if
Yeah.
our generation, it was like you was street or vert
yeah.
or nut rep.
There's lots of
And there
more
was-
all-rounders now.
Where the all-rounder thing's just amazing. Like,
Yeah, it's much more inclusive.
yeah.
Do you feel
Yeah.
that? Do you think skateboarding is
Yeah,
inclusive
definitely nowadays. Yeah, 100%.
more than when you started?
Yeah, when I started, it was a whole nother world.
Can we talk about it?
Yeah.
Like, actually, you know, can you share your experience, like starting skateboarding?
Yeah,
In your
so
area?
basically, I got into skating. Well, I BMX before I skated, so I was introduced to a skate park through a BMX, and I grew up in housing commission. Grew up pretty poor as a kid. Mum got me a bike one year, which I was stoked about. So I used to go to the skate park all the time on my bike, and then I think one day like someone wanted to have a turn on my bike, and then I was like, can I ride your skateboard? And I rode their skateboard, and I was like, this is so much fun. Like I liked it way better than BMXing. So I was like, can I like borrow this board and you can borrow my bike? And they're like, oh, do you want to just swap? And I was like, yeah.
Wow.
So we swapped, right? And then I went home, and I remember my mum just like going off because I'd given this expensive bike away for this like shitty skateboard because it was all chipped up and everything. But I was just like, Mum, like this is so much more fun. Like it's cheaper, you know, like, and she could see like I was super into it. So she was just like, whatever, like as long as you're happy. And then,
How old were you?
I was 12. I was 12 years old. But yeah, like it was hard for me getting into skating because the guys just didn't think like I was supposed to do it because I was a girl.
Yeah.
And, like there was no
Where
other
did you go?
girls.
What suburbs is?
So I grew up on the Gold Coast,
Yeah.
and I grew up skating Varsity Lakes,
Yeah.
which before it was I don't know if you know the old Varsity Lake skate park, but it was horrible. I tried to find images of it to like send to you guys. I was trying to find them last night and I can't find them anywhere.
Right.
It doesn't exist anymore?
I don't know. Like there used to be photos of it online, but now there isn't. But there was like one ramp there that had coping, and it was the most bodgy, like the steepest ramp ever. So I learned all my transition tricks on this crazy little like DIY thing. Right. And yeah, like I learned how to drop in by myself. I learned how to ollie by myself just by watching the guy skaters because they wouldn't teach me. And then yeah, basically, Jesus Christ.
Wow, it's raining.
It is pouring right now. Yeah, so basically they were like, how did you learn that? And I was like, well, you guys taught me, but
Yeah.
They like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I just watched you guys do it and worked out how to do it myself. And then they could see that I was like super into skating. So, they from that day on, they just were like, all right, we're gonna help you learn.
Right.
So they
Because I
didn't.
earned the respect.
So first,
So
yeah,
you-
okay.
Yeah.
So you were embraced by them.
Yeah, like, of course, like they were like really good at skating and I wanted to be on their level. And I'm now not one to give up on something. Like I would try my hardest, you know? So I just kept trying and trying to win them over and I earned their respect, showing them that I want to skate. None of them skate now.
Yeah, right.
Like none of them still
That's
skate.
classic,
I'm the
yeah.
only one that still does
Killing it. Yeah.
And they always message me like, dude, I can't believe how far you've gone with it. And yeah, it was like, it's pretty cool.
So you actually became friends like through it all as well?
Yeah. We became like really good homies. So
That's
we'd
cool.
like go
Yeah.
around the area to different street spots, skate, film. We have all this footage. I don't even know where it is now. Like it's
No.
all lost somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good distraction from growing up where I grew up, you know, like there was a lot of
Right.
crazy stuff, like just drugs, alcohol, domestic violence. There was so much stuff going on around me that I had to get out of there. My escape was the skate park, and that's why I got really good at skateboarding at a young age because, yeah, I just needed something to distract me from all that chaos.
Do you mind if I ask, were you from a separated family? Or-
Yeah, so my mum and dad split up when I was 10, I believe. I think I was 10. So that was a whole transition because my mum actually met a woman and started dating a woman. And they're still together to this day. So I got two mums now. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like a transition phase for me because I was like, at that time growing up, it wasn't like a thing to have a gay parent. And nowadays, obviously, it's really accepted, like, which
Yeah.
is amazing. But yeah, for me at like a young age, it was really confusing. I was like, what's going on? You know, like I
Totally.
didn't really understand it, but I was like, whatever. Like if you're happy, then I'm happy. But yeah, as I got older, I started to understand it more. I was like, okay, I understand this. But yeah, so
Aside from skating, like what other ways were you managing your situation and the conversations around your parenting situation as well? Was, you know, we having feelings of like maybe, I guess, confusion, embarrassment, like, and how were you managing it?
I guess like I didn't really talk about it. Hey,
Okay.
like for me, like in school, I didn't really tell my friends that my mum had a girlfriend.
Right.
Like, I just said, oh, it was my mum's friend, you know?
Yeah.
And then for years, I didn't invite my friends over because I hate to say it, but I was embarrassed because I didn't know how, it was like a whole new thing for me. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to take this. And then like, as I got older, so this would have been when I was like 10, 11, 12, I was like still trying to work it out. And then when I was about 13, 14, I was like, oh, okay, like I get it. My mum's gay. That's awesome. And then one day I was like, you know what? I can't hide this from my friends anymore. I need to tell them because
Yeah.
like my mum's so happy and I just felt bad not telling them. So one day I finally told them. I was like, yeah, so like my mum's gay. And they're like, yeah, we know.
Of course.
And I was like, are you serious? They're like, we've known the whole time. What do you mean? And I was like, I thought it was such a big deal, but like just to tell my friends and they were like all cool with it. I was like, oh, okay, sweet. Like,
Yeah.
just like, why did I care so much?
Do you
But as a
have-
kid, you get like that, I guess.
Yeah, and I think it was a different time. Like,
Yeah.
you know, in a lot of ways, our society obviously has its problems, but it also has some success as well in terms of more inclusivity and understanding and acceptance. And I think it's
Yeah.
progressing well. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. And even in the skate community, like There's so many queer communities out there that are supporting each other, and like it's exactly what the skate community needs. And you know, people are coming out like it's just like a normal thing. They're not even coming out. It's just like, I like
just
this person, you know, which is really cool to
how it
see.
should be,
Yeah, it's how it always should have been.
Yeah.
Just took a bit of time to get there.
Yeah.
How would you reflect on your time at school? I mean, were you a good student? Do you think were you academically
No.
inclined? Just asking.
I was like, you know, I'd be passing, like I'd be getting C's.
But it was just because you didn't care?
Yeah, I was like more sporty. So basically, like I was real academic in sport. So I was competitive.
Yeah.
Like I used to go like try and win all the running races. I played soccer, I played cricket, basketball, like I did all the sports growing up. But yeah, I wouldn't say I was definitely in the dumb classes. Like,
Right.
you know how they had to have like an average Joe class, and I'm like, they'd put me in there, and I'm like, yeah, sweet. I just had my tech deck set up on a board,
Right.
like,
So you were
skating.
Yeah, you were into skating.
I don't know about you, but for me, I was the same. And then I left school thinking I was so dumb. It took me a lot of years afterwards to realise I wasn't.
Yeah.
Did you leave school feeling like you were dumb?
Definitely. I mean, I went to TAFE after school, and I was like going to study graphic design. And I started studying graphic design, and then I really liked it, but it got to a point where I was sitting inside all day long, and I was like, shit, this is what it's going to be like if I do this as a job. And I'm like,
That's me.
Steve's a graphic designer.
yeah, true.
That's
I was
fine,
like,
though. Yeah.
I was like, I don't really want to
I
sit
get what you're
inside all
saying.
day.
I totally
like,
get what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah.
Good
And
on
I
you
just
for,
realized.
Good on you for figuring out what you want to do, though.
Yeah. And then my mum was like kind of bummed that I did that. And she's like, so what are you going to do? I'm like, well, I want to become a pro skater.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So you thought that.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you put it out there.
I always wanted to become a pro skater, and I was going
Awesome.
to do whatever it took to get there.
Right.
And my mum, she was like, I mean, you know, if that's what you want to do, then go for it. Like,
So she was on board.
yeah, my parents were really supportive of my skating career.
How old were you when you manifested that?
I would have been 17, 18.
Sick.
Yeah. But then I had a full-time job. Like I worked for Coles. I worked for Coles for 10 years.
Did you?
Yeah. Did the hard yards, checkout chick, deli.
Can I just jump in there? Comparatively, if we fast forward to the lifestyle you live now,
Yeah, it's crazy, eh? Never would have thought I would be in this position I am, like, ever.
Right.
I just obviously we're going to be talking about the Olympic stuff, and
Yeah, awesome.
like I never thought I'd be doing that. You know, I never thought skating would be in the Olympics. So I was like, it's just like
no one did.
Yeah,
someone
totally,
told
no one
me
did.
like 10 years ago, hey, you're
Yeah.
going to be an Olympic judge. I was like,
Crazy.
what? You know?
Yes.
But so
sick.
I guess I lost track of where we were.
So let's go back. Yeah, you were working at Coles as well,
Yeah.
around 17, 18. Keeping things alive with your Coles job.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just skating as much as possible.
Yeah, so basically, like, I worked at Coles to support my skating career, and I saved and saved and saved and saved. And my thing was to save as much money as I can to get over to the States.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, my parents, they're not the most well off. Like, we didn't grow up with money, right? So it was up to me to work my ass off to get the money to go over to the States and do it myself. And I did that. I worked my ass off. I got the money. I booked a trip with Nixon Osborne. He was 16 at the time, and I was his guardian. And we went over to the States together, and I took him to Woodward. And then 3 days in to my trip, I dislocated my knee.
At Woodward?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
So Woodward West is like this massive rollover. It's like in the indoor part of it.
Right.
It's basically a BMX obstacle. But all the girls were going over it, and we were doing like a train over it. And I just came over, and as I came down, my back foot came off the board and I literally like sat on my knee at the bottom, like with full
Like
pressure,
splits?
like splits. And then I just felt my knee pop. And I remember, because I had shorts on, like I had tiny little shorts on. And I remember pulling my leg around and my kneecap's like on the side. And I just start
knee
screaming,
stuff.
like, and yeah, I just remember yelling out, like, someone get me a green whistle. And they're like, all the Yanks are like, what? What are you talking about? What's that? And I'm like, do you not know what that is? Like, it's morphine in the
best
stick.
painkiller.
And they're just like, no, we can just give you like Tylenol. And I'm like, it's not going to do anything. Like, anyways, they all just like stared at me. No one helped me. I was like, someone pop it back in. No one was like, everyone was like, no, we're not touching you. Like,
Even
we don't
the
know what to do.
staff?
Yeah, no one wanted to touch it. And I couldn't handle it.
Surely
I was
got
like,
training
I
on that.
can't have this out anymore. So I grabbed my leg and I
Yeah.
just whacked it forward.
Yeah.
And it kind of like grinded and popped back into place. And then, yeah, it was pretty brutal. That was probably my worst injury.
Have you ever dislocated anything?
No, I was
I've dislocated
so
my
lucky, bro.
shoulder.
Yeah,
You haven't?
true.
No.
But I've heard knees are like shoulder times 10.
Yeah.
It's honestly like
Was it all
the
disfigured?
popping. Yeah, like popping it back in was worse than it popping out.
Yeah.
And then, like, basically, hate to say it, but Woodward was like, well, we're going to charge you to get you a car to go to hospital. And I'm
Really?
like, well, I don't have money. Like, I need to
were
go to
18.
hospital.
You were like-
I think I was 23,
Yeah,
24,
okay.
maybe. I don't know. I was older.
So, okay.
But I just didn't have the money to pay for a car to go to hospital. And I was like, yeah, I can't afford that. And then they just wrapped my knee with all this ice. And then I hit up one of the guys that, like, he was a staff member. And we became good friends. And he had a car there. And I was like, bro, can you please, like, drive me to hospital? It was 2 hours away.
And then they would have had those things in
think they'd be on
place.
top of it,
First
yeah,
aid.
surely.
Yeah.
First aid stuff.
I mean, it was weird. I don't know. It was like, I don't know what happened there. But anyways, he drove me to hospital and I was like in so much pain that he gave me this pen and he's like, just keep sucking on this pen. And I was like, what is it? And he's like, it's THC, just keep sucking on it. He's like, trust me, the pain will go
It's
away.
a crack pipe.
And I just kept sucking on it and like, I don't know, for half an hour, and then next minute there was no pain.
Yeah.
And I was just flying the whole way to the hospital. I was like,
Thank you, cannabis.
This is great. Got to hospital and they're like, what's your pain out of 10? I'm like, oh, it was like a 10 earlier, but now it's a 3.
It's the real green whistle.
Yeah, exactly.
Those green whistles are so good though. Like they just take the trauma out
Yeah.
of bad situations, don't they?
But yeah, I guess like the start of that trip kind of set off my career, but not because I didn't really get to prove myself over there because of that.
Yeah.
But Nixon did. Nixon got to.
So he grew up in the same area as you?
Yeah. So basically, I'm from the Goldie. He moved to the Goldie when he was like 15 or 16, and then I met him in a skate comp, and I remember watching him going, "Who is this kid?" Like. He's so good at skating. I thought he was a grown-ass man. I thought he was a 20-year-old man. And I'm like, he's like, no, I'm 16. I was like,
Is that because he was skating strong as well?
yeah.
He seemed
He just
strong.
looked older.
Yeah.
He was like a man-child.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, what the hell? Like, and yeah, we became really good friends, like instantly. Nixon becomes friends with everyone instantly. That's just his persona. But yeah, like his mum was like, you're his guardian in the States, took him to the Hollywood 16. He crushed it. Like,
Wow.
What do you do down that?
he did back 50 first try, back 50 first try.
What?
That's insane.
Front feeble. No, he did a feeble, back lip. Like he just.
Did he back lip it?
Yeah, he back lipped it like third shot. It was, yeah.
And then he destroys transitions as well.
Yeah.
That guy's ATV, right?
Yeah, yeah. He's next level, that kid. And now he's over there now and he's
is he?
smashing it.
Yeah, I've noticed
heard that
actually.
He told me some things, like some tricks he's got. Got to keep it a secret.
Give us a
but
scoop.
Really?
Go.
I can't. I've got to keep my lips sealed. But yeah, I'm sure like you'll see his part.
He's filming a part.
He's working towards another one. So
Yeah. Hey, Jock, can we get that YouTube clip up of Amy's trick at Sydenham Skate Park. Let's have a chat about that.
Sure.
So that was one of the tours you went on with Santa Cruz, yeah?
Yeah.
So talk us through it. The back D on the wall at Sydenham.
Yeah. So
Scary up there.
It's fucking scary.
So how did that come about?
basically, when we're in the van, I think everyone was talking about what they wanted to do, like what tricks they wanted to do in the demo, and I wanted to impress everyone as well and impress Santa Cruz, and there was lots of little girls there too, and I was like, oh, I want to show them what you can do. And I don't know, I psyched myself up so much in the van that I was like, oh, I'm doing this.
gotta do it,
I
yeah.
just got into this mental state of just being like, I'm gonna land this today. And then I remember going for it because I was just on this high, Santa Cruz invited me to go on a tour with them, and
So you weren't with them as a rider?
yeah, I was.
You were.
I was.
Okay,
yeah.
so you're on the float
they were
team
my
at the time.
first proper big sponsor.
Gotcha, okay.
So I had America, and then Santa Cruz was the next one, and yeah, so I was just I had heaps of energy. I was excited, and
So who else was on the tour? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, you good.
Jake Wooten.
Jake Wooten,
Kieran Woolley.
Henry Gartland, Eric Dressen, Mario McCoy, Red. And I think that's it. I hope I'm not missing anyone else.
It's a bit of a lineup.
Yeah, it was sick. It was the coolest. There was in that video, they talk about there was a party van, and then there was a chill van, and Eric Dressen, Mario McCoy, and someone else was in that van, and it was they were just looking over at our van they were so glad they weren't in that one.
So you're in the
Right,
party
you're in
van.
the
I was going to
party
say,
yeah, I was in the party van.
I was going to ask that, but what was it like being the only girl in the van?
It was fun. They I'm just a skater them.
Okay.
So
Rad.
it's not it's anything different. I've always skated. I've grown up skating with guys. I always skated with guys to make me skate better. I wish there was more girls around that I could have grown up skating with, because it would have really been awesome to have that, but I didn't have that, so I always grew up skating with dudes. But yeah, that back disaster, I remember getting into it, and then I was okay, I got into that real easy, and then I was I tried it again. I think I slid out a bit, and then I was nah, next one, this is the one, I'm doing it right here. And third shot, I just did it, and I was
So I was gonna
rolled
say-
away, and I was holy shit.
Yeah, that would be so good.
And that rail too that they just put up as well, the rainbow rail there. It's not easy to step to that thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
is that an obstacle you like at that park?
I do. I don't. If I really wanted to do it again, I could probably do it. I think I was trying one time. I was trying to front 180 out of it, pole jam front 180.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just it's because it's a double cannon. It's kind of weird to get into. You need wide trucks. But yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Nah, I love it. Have you ever skated those, Steve? They're not a flat bank, those
It's a
walls.
weird- yeah.
For me, being an older skater, they're a new
It's a new
thing.
obstacle,
How
right?
it's
It's
transition to flat. What do you
Yeah.
actually call that?
Wait.
Is it just
Is there
a
an actual
bank?
name?
It's
Is
a
it just a
bank, right?
bank? Tranny to bank?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
definitely a new
Bowls
obstacle
too.
that's come up in skate parks. It's getting put up. Sydney Park has kind of a similar one,
Which?
and then where transition goes into a vert wall.
Oh yeah.
where
Yeah.
parks Never
I
really had
know.
them before.
That wall.
But that one
yeah.
particularly is
It's
just
whippy. The
Yeah.
one at
I mean,
Sydenham.
Yeah.
You got to be ready
When
for
you
it.
come back in,
Yeah.
you got to hit that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering. They're not easy to skate.
I think I dropped it in when it first opened, and I was I just went for it, and
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be whippy, and I dropped it in, went for it. I was okay, that was kind of easy, and then I 50'd it, and then that's why I was I want to back disaster it.
you went up to 50 on it.
backside
50-50.
Yeah, so I did a backside 50 on it. And
That'd
then,
be scarier than back decker, I reckon.
yeah, you reckon? I don't know. Back D
stopping
for
up
me, I
there.
was holy
Yeah.
shit! I got to lean all the way in, because and then Henry
wide is it on
Gartland
top,
back nose blunted it, and
Excuse me?
Henry Gartland back nose blunted it,
Amazing.
and if you miss that nose blunt, you're
yeah, it's
dropping
hot. There's nothing there.
That was nuts.
Yeah,
I noticed in that edit, it's a 20-minute edit of the whole tour.
yeah.
And there's some, images of you signing autographs with seems like young female skaters.
Yeah.
Do you feel a sense of responsibility to be a role model for these
Yeah.
up and coming skaters?
Yeah, like
Do you
that's
take that
why-
seriously, that responsibility?
I do. Like, yeah, for me, like I was working with some alcohol companies and it was getting to the point where I was like it was sick, obviously, like
Yeah.
when you're in your 20s,
Yeah, of
you're
course.
like, yeah, you're going to take that opportunity to skate for alcohol companies. But then I noticed that, like, you know, it was probably not sending the best message for the younger generation. So it was a cool thing while it lasted, but now I'm like, all right, sweet, back off from that a bit.
Okay.
Just to show, like, you know, younger kids that there's like, you don't, like, I was trying to like do the alcohol thing in a fun way, you know, like making it more comedy like.
Not like you're getting wasted.
Yeah.
Just,
yeah. So it was it's definitely hard to work with alcohol because, yeah, you got to try and make it look, I don't know. It's a hard one.
It is a tricky one.
Yeah.
But I also understand too, like, to maintain a certain lifestyle, you know, it does bring in and help make it more viable, right?
Yeah.
So it's like this balance between how can I sustain this lifestyle, make it viable, and then do good stuff. Like, I guess my question is, like, do you have to mix in a little bit of that sort of stuff to keep you going, or are you past that
like
now, you
I
think?
mean, for me, when Fireball came to me, like, it was a no-brainer because I like got the fire hair, you know, like, and it kind of went hand in hand. I was like, this is so sick. Like, they were giving me really cool opportunities. Same as Young Henry's. Young Henry's was going to, like, pay for me to go to the Olympics.
Right.
So, yeah, basically
Amazing.
the last Olympics I was trying to get into because I was at that level and I was like really training for it, trying to do that whole thing, and Young Henry's backed me and they were like, hey, we'll pay for you to go.
Awesome.
So and they were the only company to reach out to do that. So I was like, all right, sweet. And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
Ruined everything.
Okay, well, let's go back a bit. I want to, because I think we're entering into a new phase of your life here, right?
Yeah.
So, like, when you say Young Henry's were going to pay for you to go to the Olympics, like, as a competitor,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
okay.
they were going to, like, sponsor me and I just put their stickers on my board and then
so you were set to qualify.
yeah,
You were-
I was trying to qualify
Yeah, okay.
the previous Olympics.
To Tokyo.
Yeah, to Tokyo. Which it would have been kind of weird, I think, because of COVID. Like, all these skaters had to do quarantine. It just didn't look like a fun time, to be honest.
Skating to no crowd.
Yeah,
right?
like that's what they said.
It would have been
They
super
said it
weird.
was super weird.
So Kieran
Like,
said when I had him on, he's just like, I'm used to people, I do a 540 or a kickflip indie, whatever, and then I got the whole crowd going,
Crowd flies
"Ah,"
up.
and he goes, I feed off that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he's like, Len, it's just
It's
silence.
silent.
Yeah. So, basically, I was like, well, I'm not going to go in the Olympics, you know, like, I'll just keep skating. And then that's when I created a TikTok.
So it was kind of like you sort of went, okay, I don't think it is for me after all.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then you just
Yeah.
took a different direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So basically, I moved to Sydney, and then from the Goldie was trying out for the Olympic staff. When I moved to Sydney, I went in I got a wild card to go to X Games because I won a comp at Sydenham Skate Park.
Right.
sick.
Did that, came last, but it was
At X
like an
Games?
experience, yeah. And then I think a year after that, I got invited. Like, there was a Dew Tour competition, and it was for the Olympics.
Right. Oh,
And
yeah.
I actually entered in park and street. So I was actually like, I was so cooked after. I was like, why did I do that? You know, like, it's a lot of skating to
Yeah.
enter into both. And then, once COVID happened and it kind of put a spanner in the works for not only me, for a lot of the Olympians, they all didn't really want to go through that. I was like, you know what, I want to just work. I got a job in a skate shop here in Sydney at Basement.
You work in a basement, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the first time I kind of saw you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I I was going to get a bar job, and then someone was like, "Oh, you should hit up like a skate shop. You got a following.
Yeah.
Surely they'll hire you." And then I messaged them on Instagram. They were like, "Oh, we're not hiring at the moment, but we'll definitely hire you." And I was like, "Okay, sick."
Cool.
So I started working in a skate shop. Learned so much about skateboards. I was like, there was so much I didn't know about, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like,
Right.
feel like skate shops should, like, when you go in there, they should educate you on like the trucks and like what this means for this and that, you know. And that's what I would do when I learnt it. The new people that would come in, I would teach them exactly like how a
cool.
truck size matches your board, and like I didn't even know that growing up. No one told me that. You know,
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
probably
man.
riding trucks
you
too
just-
small for my board and stuff, and I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ride 775 wide boards like us.
I think I started on a 775. I actually think I
You
did.
might have.
And then
No, we ride 8-inch boards.
well, I went up to 8.
Yeah.
Then I went to 8.1. And then I went to
Right.
8.2.
Yeah, I've gone back down to
Yeah.
8. I was
Okay,
up.
and so what are you on now?
8.2.
8.2?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, well, like, do you like the wider board feel?
So for me, it took years to get to an 8.2. I was like, oh, I like transition and I also like street. So it's kind of like an in-between board. I can skate transition and street comfortably on that width. But yeah, I was skating 8.125s when I rode for Santa Cruz. And then once, I just like one day went up to 8. Oh no, because Santa Cruz had no more 8.125s. They like ran out. And then I was like, what the hell? Like, so I went up to 8.2 and went up in truck size as well.
Right.
And I was like, holy shit. Like, it just made a difference for me in transition.
did?
Yeah. I was like,
See, I couldn't cope.
like
I
your
tried
foot,
it.
yeah.
I couldn't cope. I went straight back to 8-inch boards and
yeah.
the trucks that match it. What are they?
But
Indy 139.
Was that did you like that for
I couldn't flip
flat
my
ground?
board. Yeah. I couldn't flip my board
Same.
anymore.
It's like I've gone back
Yeah.
down to 8
And then I
recently.
see
Now
some
I
of
can
the
flip my board
kids,
again.
some of the younger crew I skate with, they all ride 8.5-inch boards, and then they hop on my 8-inch board and do a flip trick, and they're like, "Oh, this is so much easier." And I'm like, "Yeah, no shit." Just because it's like on trend to ride a wide board.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I'm sweet with flat ground on my 8.2. Like,
Yeah, you
it's-
are.
Yeah, cool.
I guess that's
Yeah.
not too dramatic. 8.2.
Yeah.
8.5 though.
8.5's too
Yeah.
big. It's way too big.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got big feet for a girl. Like, I got size 8 men feet. So
Right.
just having that little bit of extra room on the board as well feels
Yeah.
good. I don't know.
So let's go back to. I want to get back. Actually, there's one question I want to ask you. Like, how old were you before you moved? When you moved to Sydney? And
I
what-
was 26.
and
26.
And
yeah.
what prompted the move? Was it to continue? You know,
Basically I met a guy and I like we
That'll do
kicked it
it.
off, and
yeah.
I moved here for him, and then like I basically never left. I was like, I
Right.
got a job in a skate shop, and
Yeah, cool.
and then I started meeting lots of skaters, and I just kind of started vibing with Sydney because I was working in a skate shop. I was like, this is sick.
Yeah.
Meeting heaps of skaters through the skate shop, and and then that's when I started the TikTok
Yeah.
page, because it was like a period of going into COVID, and I was so bored in this skate shop. Like, so I was like, oh, what do I like? How can I make this more fun? And I just started making videos reacting, like being customers that would come in. So
Right.
like,
Yeah.
you know, I was like, I did one video where I was like the Bondi mom, and then I was like the skater dad, and like I was being these different personas and like making these funny videos, and I was like, this is kind of funny. Like, I'll upload it on TikTok, and then they just started going viral.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah,
And
you
I was
answered.
like, okay.
Yeah, well, you answered my question. I was like, yeah, what it did inspire it, and you think it was just boredom? At
Yeah,
first?
I was so bored. It was during COVID.
Do you consider yourself a creative person?
Yeah,
You
100%.
do, because they are quite creative.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm no actor or anything. Like, it's
Whoa. Do you think that's evolved? Do you think you've become a better actor because of those clips?
yeah. I guess like I look back on them now, and I'm like, oh my god, like it's so bad. Like, I could have cut it a bit better, you know, and like edited it a bit better. But that comes with anything that you're starting off with. Like, you start realizing like you can do it better and better and better and better, and it evolves. But yeah, it's definitely over the years, a lot of people thought it was cringe, and like that's fine. It's their
Let's talk
opinion.
about this because, like, I mean, when it started to go viral, like, how was that period of time? Were you just tripping out?
It was.
Were you surprised?
It was weird for me. I was like, because I didn't really know what TikTok was. I just was like, what even is this app? You know? And then I don't know. I got like 500,000 followers, and I was like,
How long did that take?
that's a lot of followers.
Yeah.
Like,
Can you
you
even
reckon?
gauge?
I think
Can you
it took-
gauge on TikTok who your followers are? Is the same as Instagram as well, or is
it's
it
like different. TikTok's like, I feel like Instagram's more like authentic and like you can like relate more and like have a relationship with people on there. Like, I don't know, you can message each other better and like there's stories, you're watching stories on there. So it's like more engaging. Whereas TikTok's like just an algorithm. So like that TikTok chooses if your video is going to go viral or not, you know, and it's not
do you
really.
do you know why though? What have you?
Who knows? It's
'cause
run
you've got
by China.
experience with- So you don't actually. No one knows why.
No, like I've worked with TikTok and I asked them like why, and they don't know.
You've actually worked with TikTok. Like
well,
what do you
like
mean?
they've invited me to
TikTok
go in and do
parties?
workshops and like TikTok parties and stuff.
But research, like they've invited you to help them with research and things like that.
Yeah.
No shit.
Like not research, it's just like I went there to ask some questions. Like I just wanted to know, I'm like, how do I get more viral videos? You know, like how do I do this? They're like, we don't know. Like we don't know how it works.
See, the machines are taking over.
Well, that's TikTok. It's like that. Whereas Instagram's going to like push your videos forward to your followers more. Whereas TikTok will just push it out to like random people.
I was going
and
to
you
say,
just hope that it does well. It's always the one that you're like, this is going to be the dumbest video. Like it's not going to do well, and it just goes boom.
Yeah.
right. So you're aware of that. So do you think it's a bit of a lucky dip?
Well, back when I first started doing it, it wasn't like that. It was like, I guess I was one of the only girl skaters on there at the time.
Yeah.
So, you know, Ricky Glasser?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he started one. And then he hit me up. He's like, Amy, you should like create a TikTok page. There's no girl skaters on there. Like it'd be such a great thing for you to try out. He's like, trust me. And I was like, all right, I'll go for it. And then I uploaded a video. I remember it was landscape. And he's like, messaged me. He's like, dude, take it off. Like, it's got to be portrait. And I was like,
Rookie.
oh, yeah, okay.
Rookie era.
I think I left it on there. It's like still my first video on there. But yeah, then I was like, okay, so portrait. And then I uploaded like all my most viral videos from Instagram to TikTok. And then that's how it blew up. And because I was the only girl skater, and I guess I was just putting it out there to all the women, showing them like a different side of, because everyone was on there doing dances and like this weird stuff. And I was like, let's put something like a bit of talent on there, you know, like something else. And then, it was intriguing to a lot of women because I think 70% or 75% of my followers are women on TikTok, which is totally different from Insta.
So you've
I think
been
Insta's the other way.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean the other way? So that's male.
So,
followers.
like 70% male
why?
on Insta.
Wonder why there's that difference.
I know why.
Okay, tell us why. Why?
I guess like Instagram, you can post photos, so like you can do like thirst trap photos. And the engagement
But you don't really do that though. I checked out your profile.
Yeah, like I guess because I don't do it, and then I'll upload like a bikini photo, just goes nuts.
Yeah.
So
like on a summer day.
Yeah, like when it's summer and it's.
But you know, like thirst trapping daily.
No, there's people out there that have like their accounts and they're just thirst traps.
I noticed. Yeah.
It's like a big thing. But yeah, I kind of like started doing my TikTok and like transitioning the TikTok videos that were funny over to Instagram.
Right.
At the start, I was like, oh, I don't want to mix them because I was scared of how my followers would see it on Instagram.
Like skaters, because
it was like a
skaters,
different,
you mean? Or?
Yeah. It was a whole different audience on my Insta. And then one day I was just like, you know what? I don't care. Like, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to upload them to there because I think it's funny and I'm trying to keep skateboarding lighthearted. And then, I just started uploading it. And then I guess a lot of people weren't not too into it.
Well, listen. Like, this is what I want to go into. I mean, you've got almost 2 million followers on TikTok. In terms of public visibility, how does it translate IRL? In real life, that's an acronym I heard by someone.
Yeah.
I'm not that cool.
There's people who notice me, I guess.
Do you get that?
Yeah. A while back, I had like these kids. They were kind of aggressive. Hey, I was like kind of scared.
All right.
So I was like leaving Market City, and these kids were like, "That's Amy Massey," like full screaming. And I was like, "Oh my god!" And then they're like, I was like, "Okay, that was crazy." And then I kept walking, and they're like, "I know that's you, Amy Massey. Turn around right now."
Oh my
and I was
god!
like, yeah, no, I'm not turning around. Like those kids are like really aggressive. I was like, but yeah, people like do come up to me. It's cool, like inspiring younger girls. And they come up to me all the time.
For sure.
I did a video with Paige Tobin, little Paige Tobin.
Yep.
It went so viral. So basically, like she was this. I think she was 4 at the time or 5, and I got her to drop in that extension wall at Sydney Park with me. Like I lifted her up,
Sick.
and like we dropped it in together. And like I blew her up. Like she got. I'm pretty sure she went from like 10,000 followers on Insta to like 300,000. So more than what I have on there. Like it just blew her up big time. And I was like, wow, I did that. Like I started that for her, which was so cool to get her into.
Totally. Yeah.
That's power.
Yeah. So like that's why I do what I do, because I'm just trying to inspire like girls to get into skating.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
I love that you said that.
Yeah.
Hey, can we get one of those TikTok clips up, whichever one you got there, and maybe Amy can talk us through one. All right, let's have a look at this one. Let's have a watch.
This is like taking it back to when you're a kid and you're looking at a 3-stair, but it looks huge. Like we've got the iPod, the old school iPod. It's supposed to be when I was like, first starting to like skate.
I love the
I was going to say, where'd you get the iPod from?
I think Gracie actually had it.
I was going to say, it's like retro now.
Yeah. She had the Nintendo DS and everything. But yeah, that's a funny.
Okay. All right. How many views has that had? Approximately?
I have no idea. It's probably got a couple mil.
Couple of mil?
I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we look at another one, Jock? What's the next one we got up?
Oh my God, this one.
When skaters find a spot.
This one went super viral, like on Instagram as well. And then like these guys in Barcelona, I think they copied the exact same video, used my sound and everything.
No.
And then people were commenting saying like, you copied these guys. I was like,
oh
really?
Dude, check the date. Like I made that video first.
How'd that make you feel?
I don't know. I was sweet. Like I inspired people to create what I created. So
nice.
I was like,
that's cool. Yeah.
It is a sign of, I guess that's the greatest sort of compliment. Is, when you mimicked. I like this part where there's like the beautiful mind. Like doing the algorithm.
Like imagine like walking.
Were you just humping the step?
Yeah.
That's why I was laughing at the start.
Thirst trap. Is that a thirst trap? No, just
it's just basically like how like skaters, when you see a really good spot, it makes you just like, look how good this is. Like I always go to a spot and then I'm like looking at the stairs, like people probably driving past, like, why is this chick just staring at stairs? You know what I mean? Like, do you think that?
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Random people just like, what are these people doing?
Or you walk down a set of stairs with a rail and like you sort of stop and look at the rail and everyone's like, what are they looking at? Like,
yeah,
I'm just looking at the handrail.
Like there was this viral clip the other day I just seen, and I think it's called Skate Wife, the clip, the Insta, and this wife of a skater is filming her husband like looking at a rail and stairs, and she's like, the commentary's so funny. It's like, this guy looks like he's trying to work out how to walk downstairs. Like, it's like his first time ever seeing a stair set and trying to work out how do you get down these stairs. Like the commentary on it was so funny, but he was just checking out the rail and like the speed of how to get up the stairs.
Skate Wife, I have to check it out.
Yeah.
Have you had a Walker Ryan? skater in America. I had him on episode 100 if you're listening.
Yeah.
He went on a European vacation with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
But it was meant to be just like a romantic trip, but he's seen all these sick spots. He's like, oh, and then he's got all these awesome videos like of his girlfriend like all dressed up, ready to go out for dinner in like high heels and stuff. And then like follow filming him and filming him like trying to do a switch trade down a gap and stuff in Greece or somewhere. It's like so funny.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for the funny videos, and then like I made so many of them that I'm like I've ran out of ideas, and I'm like trying to get that creative side back again, but it's hard like trying to come up with different ideas.
How often do you try to post?
I mean,
like an
now
actual
I'm
clip?
like I haven't posted much comedy stuff in skating because I've been so busy with all these like with Harley Davidson and Sony,
Yes.
which is sick. Like I'm learning how to ride. So it's like I've been hella busy with all that, but I've got I actually have a couple of funny video ideas lined up to film over the next couple of weeks. So you will see them soon. They're going to be funny.
Can we talk about Harley Davidson? I mean, that's when I seen that they gave you a motorbike?
Yeah, so basically it's a loan.
Okay.
So they're loaning me the bike. They pay for the rego. They pay for the insurance, all that kind
So
of
you can
stuff.
just keep swapping them out?
Yeah. So basically
as you get better, you get better bikes?
Yeah. So
Yes,
Harley
Amy.
was like, we want you to do a learn to ride program. We think you'd the right fit for our brand. And I was like, dude, this is so sick. Like it's been on my bucket list my whole life to learn how to ride.
Right.
And I was like, what a good way to learn how to ride through Harley. So they paid for my course to go get my L's, and never ridden a bike before in my life. And I aced it. I was like, okay, this is way easier than driving a manual car. And then, like they dropped off the bike to me, put a skate mount on the side of the bike.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And like, so I got a little rack like for my skateboard and everything. And I've been riding a lot lately. Just trying to get used to it. It's scary in Sydney.
It is,
riding. It's not like, it's not me I'm worried about. It's the other people on the road.
Okay.
Like people just.
Oh, yeah, them doing something.
I feel like people like, after riding now, I feel like everyone should go for their motorbike license because it will make drivers aware of
for sure
riders on the road. Like now when I drive my car, I'm constantly looking out for bikes. Yeah. It just made me more aware of that.
Yeah. Because it's funny, I just got my motorbike license this year as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So when
you got to go for a ride.
Yeah. Well, I've been looking out for a motorbike. I was going to buy like a Vespa.
Yeah.
I just something around town, but I think I've got to get something bigger. But you're right, like
get a Harley.
Like when you go to like say a third world country where there's no road rules, everyone rides defensively and there's no road rage. There's no road rules, but there's no road rage. But then you come to Australia and there's like it's aggressive and there's road rage and you know. And if you're on a motorbike, you're definitely riding defensively, aren't you?
I think when like I was away on a trip and Corey Duffel was like, he's like, dude, like I want to let you know, like it's sick that you're getting on Harley, but like just so you know, you're going to fall off and you're going to eat shit. And I'm like, thanks, man. Like, wise words. And he's like, no, I'm serious. Like because he used to have a motorbike, he's fallen off, he's eating shit heaps. And I was like, bro, I know I'm gonna fall off this thing one day, but I'm doing it, you know.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, it's like, do you live your life in fear of what might happen?
Yeah.
You know?
And he was saying like if you ride your bike like you skate, expect to like really hurt yourself because like you send it so that's what I mean. I'm like, bro, you send so hard, like but yeah, he I think he's sold his bike because he rides it like he skates.
Interesting.
So he's like, I'm going to lose my life if I keep this thing.
So you get a lot of, would you say overall you get mainly love comes out of your social media accounts? Yeah,
like I get hate, but like I don't really.
How do you manage that?
I don't really care. Okay. It's like it's just more engagement, you know, for me. It's like if you want to leave a comment, like please. I don't care if you want to talk shit.
Yeah, 'cause you don't engage in it.
Yeah,
You
because
go
no, I
back.
don't engage.
Yeah,
Like
cool.
there might be one time, like I might like try and say something funny back, like as a joke, but then it just like
Yeah, it
spirals.
just
You know what I mean?
spirals.
So there's no
Yeah.
point in even responding. It's just like leave it.
Sorry to cut you off, Amy. I just feel like a negative comment on social media just has no weight. It's just it doesn't mean anything if like it gets forgotten so quickly by
Yeah.
by people, and I just find it interesting when people allow themselves to get caught up in a debate in comments or an argument. I'm just like, really? Like,
Yeah, because it doesn't end. Like
It doesn't end.
I learned that when I first started getting some pretty hateful comments, and like when I first started getting big on social media, I was copying it a lot, and I didn't know how to take it.
what was the
time.
main criticism?
Oh, it's everything. Like I guess like the TikTok side of it was what changed it, because people thought like I just started skating or something. Like I just started getting into the scene, and I was like, dude, I've been in the fucking skate scene my whole life. Like
Yeah, okay.
I know a lot about skateboarding, and people just thought I didn't know shit. And like I used to skate in like, you know, short shorts and like crop tops and stuff, and like apparently it was too girly, you know. Like
No, you weren't still
it was
getting
like-
that kind of shit.
Yeah, like I've copped heaps for, you know, just dressing like that, and I'm just like, dude, this is what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
Not everyone has to, you know, wear baggy clothes and look like a dude skating. Like,
Yeah, right.
I want to inspire that side of the market as well with,
Yeah,
you know,
cool.
girly girls. It's
Yeah.
like anyone can do this. And don't get me wrong, like, look at me now. I'm wearing baggy stuff. Like I
But it is,
wear
it
everything.
It is pretty
pouring
cold.
rain and
Yeah.
freezing,
We've all got
freezing
beanies on.
cold. Yeah, why aren't
Yeah,
you wearing
like
short shorts today? It's only 10 degrees outside.
Yeah, so I don't know. What else they hated me for? I don't know. There's heaps.
usually
People
rubbish,
laughing
right?
about it.
It's usually just bait half the time
Yeah.
to like get you going, and then it's
Yeah.
not actually.
Yeah. And they're commenting those things to get a
Yeah, exactly.
reactment. Yeah, so if you don't give them anything, it's like there's nothing that
Nice.
comes from it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I just leave the comments out and care, because I read them and I laugh.
Yes.
And like I'll go home with my
Cool.
mates and I'm like, well, you look at this one, you know, it's for me it's funny.
Yeah, it's good.
But I get a lot more of positivity from people, way more than the negativity.
Yeah,
And yeah, when I first started getting all those bad comments, it was like, what? Like I was taking it to heart, you know?
yeah, of course.
And then I realized, I was like, okay, like
Do you think it's...
you can't let that get to you, because you're just going to like constantly be down.
yeah,
So
Do you think it's been part of your own personal growth, learning that resilience?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It came with age as well. Like I think I hit 30 and I was like, why do I care?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in your 20s, like in your
Oh, it's
teens,
true.
you kind of care a lot about what people think of you, and then you hit 30 and you're just like, this is me.
wait till you get 40.
Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it a beautiful space?
yeah. It's
I mean, it feels like it's clicked earlier for you. For me, it took longer
Yeah.
before I
Yeah.
started to be just really like embracing exactly who I am and not scared to express it anymore. So it's
Yeah.
rad that you've learnt it.
Well, the other night, like, I did this ad at Waterloo, and they like turned the lights off for this ad for, I don't know if I can announce it yet, but it was a glow in the dark ad thing. Like, so
Okay.
they needed the lights off, and the locals were going nuts. Like, they were so mad.
Oh, like
and-
people were skating at the
How-
time.
Yeah. And
How
like,
long was it?
but they had like, they got permission to have the skate park and
Right.
all this stuff. It was all night. Like they turned the lights off. Everyone rocked up to skate, and then they realized, oh, what the hell is this? And here I am, just like, shit. Like I'm about to go over here, and they're gonna
Right.
know that I'm a part of this. And they'll start talking heaps of smack, like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, and I'm like, yeah, I know, right? I was like, oh, I can't believe it. And then next minute they're like, hey, Amy, we need you over here. And I'm like,
Shit.
so yeah, like people get
Whatever.
annoyed with that, but it's like,
One night,
Yeah.
I'm sure they can. A few hours
Yeah,
of skating.
totally.
How long
Yeah.
were they going to skate for? You know, come on.
and it was so sick. It was the coolest shoot ever. Like
Shoot.
Yeah,
Ah,
I got to like slide through glow stick
Sick.
like fluid and like
Right.
smash glow stick fluid with a skateboard and stuff. It was the coolest
do you love doing
thing.
that stuff?
I just love glow in the dark stuff.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
Who doesn't?
No, of course.
I don't know. It was like really.
Did you
fun.
get any creative input?
No, like they had everything set out. I can't wait to see what it's going to look like. It's going to be the coolest ad.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I'll have to send it to you when it comes out.
Wow. So, like, how would you describe your job title? Like, how do you describe yourself? Like, let's say you're on an international flight and you've got to fill out your occupation
Yeah.
on the.
Well, it's funny when I do that. I write skateboarder, and like no one ever questions it. But yeah, I guess
yeah, no.
my resume would be content creator and skateboard Olympic judge.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Epic.
So they're my two main things. So I create content for brands, and skateboarding's cool. So a lot of brands want to
Yeah.
work with skateboarders, which is so awesome because
People-
it's bringing money to individuals.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I'm not putting out parts anymore. Like I definitely want to. This year will be my 20 years of skateboarding.
Yes.
And I want to do 20 tricks for 20 years.
Yes.
That's the plan this year. But yeah, so just, content creating and Olympic judge.
Jock, would you mind getting up? We'll get up the next TikTok. This is fun. I've got to be straight. Like, I actually don't have TikTok.
Yeah.
It's just because I've got a busy life too, and I was like, I'm just going to keep it.
It's
to Instagram
probably a
and
good thing you
Facebook.
don't have it because it's
just-
like
I've
you
got-
just could sit there all day watching.
What was that?
I was trying to switch crook
crooks?
into the bank, but I just kept dying,
That's sick.
This was a bit of a thirst trap video, I guess.
Right.
I don't think that's thirst trapping.
But yeah, like this is
What is thirst trap? Sorry, I feel like an old man here. What is exactly thirst trapping?
I guess like looking hot towards the camera, like looking sexy and like I don't know. I guess is that what it is?
Like, but is it necessarily like revealing your body?
Yeah, I guess so. Like
Or can you thirst-
the guys that thirst trap, like they're gonna have their shirts off. They're
Yeah.
gonna like rub their body, all this weird stuff. Like,
Wait, I'm just taking some notes here. Rub body down.
yeah, I don't know. They get a lot of followers from it.
So, okay, how did this one go view-wise? Sick.
I don't, like, honestly, I'd have to go in and have a look. I think maybe a million. I don't know.
So many people. Do you ever think, like, imagine you put all of those people in one room?
Yeah,
Like, that's really what's going
I know.
on.
It's when you say it like that, I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, that's a lot
Yeah.
of people. A lot.
Yeah.
Do you have a formula when you try and put them together though in yourself, or you just like don't think about it too much?
Well, this clip especially was edited by one of my old filmers, so I guess I knew what I was trying to do in this clip, but he
Yeah.
put it all together and made it look really good. Yeah, I don't know. Had to skate and have fun.
You do. It's so sick. Like I was just saying, like, what a life you lead. And I really feel like, going back to the start of the conversation, it's like we can create a lifestyle by design
Yeah.
in this day and age. And
Yeah.
if people are going to hate on it, I kind of feel like it sounds like you already have this mindset of like, well, let them hate, right?
Yeah. I honestly don't care. Like, not everyone's going to love you. You know what I mean? You're always going to have people that aren't that fond of you, and that's fine. Like, and for people out there, like, you know, that are going through that on social media and they're worried about what people say, like, who cares? Why do you care?
Yeah.
Like, that's their opinion. You got your own opinion. Like, just keep doing what you love.
Yes.
Like-
Is that how you feel, Steve, when you do art? Like, do you feel like when you're creating an art piece, you are creating it so it appeals to as many people as possible, or is it because it just feels good for you personally?
Yeah, not thinking about, and you shouldn't. Yeah, I don't think about anyone looking at it. It's completely personal, and there's a hope, I guess, once you put it out there, once it goes on a wall.
Yeah.
Obviously, then you're like, or anything you're doing is a public. Then you start thinking about how people are going to react. But you're not thinking about. Well, some people might be, but I don't think about whether they're going to like it or not. And it's usually just, super personal. And it's almost like you can't let that be the director of producing that thing, because then you're just lost.
Yeah, exactly. You get like
why
off
you're doing
track
it.
of, that's as long as you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and like you're having fun doing those clips, and you can tell you're having fun. And it's like hilarious and cheesy and funny, and it's cool. But
It is cool, eh?
Yeah.
So the skate judging, like, did I ask you, how'd you get into it? Like, what triggered it, and who? What was the path to getting that gig?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, how do you get into this? So basically, they asked me if I would like to compete for this Olympics, and I basically came back and I was like, listen, I don't want to compete in the Olympics anymore. Like,
So you got offered to compete in Paris?
well, like, yeah, I got offered to do the
try it.
qualifyings and go down the Olympic pathway again, because I didn't get to do it the first time. But for me, like, I want to win, you know what I mean? And I know winning involves me jumping down like the big set, like skating the big obstacles, which I can't
Sorry, I keep moving your mic around.
I can't do anymore, you know.
Yeah.
I can't hit that big stuff anymore, and that's what you got to do to win. So I basically said, give it to the next girl, you know, let them go for it. And then they were like, sweet. And 6 months later, Renton Miller contacted me and was like, hey, Amy, like, they want you to judge for street. Like, are you keen? And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, Garrett Hill, like, mentioned he really wants you as a skate judge. And I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, come and judge one of my park comps. I'll, like, look over you and see how you judge it. And then, I'll see how you go. So I did that, went and judged a 5-dock comp. And then he was like, dude, you know what you're doing. Like, you've skated, you've competed for 15 years. Like, you know how to judge skateboarding. And to be honest, like, I used to sit in my living room judging Street League and being like, you know, 9.4, like calling out the numbers, and I'd always be on, like, just spot on. It was crazy. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll try it. So they sent me over to Rome, and that was the most intense week of my life.
Why?
Because it was like the travel to get there, and then I'm like super jet lagged. I'm judging for the first time for an Olympic series. So I was like nervous as all hell. I was like, oh my God, like, why am I, you know, like questioning everything? Like, why am I the one going over here? What, like, am I going to be good at this, you know? And then, so being jet lagged, and then it was like 40 degrees every day, and the aircon in the tents weren't working. Like, it was just blowing hot air. So what was like 38 degrees felt like 45 degrees. And then we're sitting there for 13 hours, like judging 250 men and like 170 women or something like that. And I'm like almost passing out in the booth. And they had to, like, someone had to come and bring an ice pack and put it on my neck, because I was like, I'm going to vomit. Like, I need a bucket, because I thought I was like starting to lose my vision, and I'm like trying to judge this comp. Yeah, it was full on. But yeah, like, I worked out the end of that week. I was like, wow, I actually really like doing this, and I'm kind of good at it. So, I guess Garrett Hill was like, dude, you're awesome at this. Like, and then I started getting invited as a judge to all the next ones. So there was like, I've been to Rome, Switzerland, Japan, Dubai, China. I think that's everywhere I've been so far.
And then
I go to
Paris.
Well, I go to Budapest on the 16th.
All right, you just got back from Shanghai?
I had just got back from Shanghai, and that was like the first Olympic qualifying series for having like rock climbing, breakdancing, BMX, and skateboarding, which was so cool. Like, I got to go watch a bit of breakdancing, rock climbing.
How sick is that?
BMX. I was like, this is like all the coolest sports in the Olympics, and I get to like hang out and like, yeah, it was so sick.
What a life,
so
man.
Budapest is next, which I've heard is just like amazing for skate spots. So
Right.
I'm pretty keen to go there.
Yeah.
And then, after that, I actually just got my flights sent to me yesterday for Paris.
Paris.
Yeah, so it's all set in.
Nervous?
I'm pretty nervous, yeah.
What is it like in the judging booth when there's like some hard decisions to be made? Like, I don't envy judges when it's like really close.
We put a lot of like, we're putting a lot into it. So we're there like watching practice for literally 13 hours a day.
Yeah.
So we're taking notes where we kind of know what we're going to see before it happens. So we've already spoken about like where that would sit on the scale and kind of thing, you know?
Okay, yeah.
So, it can get intense, I guess, if say someone like does a new trick that we've never seen before, and then you like got to quickly work out like, where does this trick sit with like a similar trick, you
How do
know?
you even do that?
Well, yeah, that's why there's like 5 of us.
I didn't go. No, I was
okay.
overseas still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going. Yeah.
That's
so-
why there's 6 judges, because we're like,
Right.
there's the head judge, 5 judges. So Garrett Hill's the head judge.
Yeah.
Then you got Vanessa Torres, Corey Duffel, JB Gillet, and Danny LeBron, and then me. So it's a crazy
What a
lineup
crew.
of
But that's a lot of experience right
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
You
So
know?
and that's what you need. Like,
How does it feel to be like mentioned amongst those names?
like
honor?
why am I here?
What do you mean? Why are you
Nah,
here?
I'm just kidding. It's like it's amazing. Like
Yeah.
like holy shit, you know.
For sure.
Even Vanessa, like I grew up watching her skate, so just being now we're like good homies. Obviously, we've traveled the world together now, and I was like, I can't believe like I grew up watching you skate, and now we're just like judging the Olympics together. It's crazy.
Just to hear that statement, judging the Olympics.
Yeah,
like,
I know, right?
Again, I
Yeah.
never thought I'd hear it in my lifetime.
It is.
As
It's
kids.
crazy. Like that. Yeah, they're like you've got to judge skateboarding because it is such a individual sport. You know.
Well, that was leading into one of my questions. I mean, there's a spectrum, I think, with people in skateboarding who see it as an art or as a sport. If I had to put myself on that spectrum, I'd be tending towards I see skateboarding as an art.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you, as you're a skate judge, but where do you see yourself on that spectrum?
I mean, I see it as many different things, and I'm sure everyone does. But I think what the Olympics is bringing to skateboarding is money and opportunities for these skaters
Yeah.
to like make it big and like actually make good money and
Yeah.
like, you know, buy themselves a house or whatever.
Because let's face it, they're breaking their fucking bodies.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah,
no
I'll get
compensation,
most of the
Steve.
actual sports.
Yeah.
Like these skaters are winning 50,000 for first prize in the Olympics.
They should. They're supreme
And then
athletes.
if they win the Olympics, you know, their country, depending on the country, is going to pay probably millions because you've won a gold for their country. And it's endless opportunities for these kids, which is great. Like,
Yeah.
I think
And it's getting skate parks built. Let's face
yeah,
it.
hey,
It's
facts.
making those campaigns for people at local council level. It's making those campaigns so much easier when they go, we want a skate park. And the council's like, no. Oh, what about the Olympics? The councils go, oh, okay, Olympics.
yeah, yeah,
There's some money.
Yeah, it's been crazy since.
It has made it easier. Let's look how many skate parks are in Sydney
When are they
now.
gonna stop? Like, yeah.
I want to go check out that Lane Cove
I've
park.
heard.
It looks sick.
Lots of transitions, and
Yeah.
they built it into the side of a cliff.
Yeah, and then there's like neon lights there.
Oh, is it neon lights?
Yeah, like on that wall that they've built into the rock, there's like blue lights on it, and
Oh,
it
have
just looks
they?
really cool at night. Yeah,
So they've put some
haven't seen
thought into like art direction.
yeah, it's
Sick.
very arty. Yeah,
Sick.
I like.
Have you been there?
I like
I haven't
blue.
actually even seen it. No, I haven't seen pictures of it.
Oh man.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It just looks hella slippery right now. Like that's why I haven't gone there yet. I'm waiting for it to like
Yeah, it's
lose that
shine.
first layer. You know.
Yeah.
I'm
scary.
like a massive, huge fan of DIY skate parks. Like that's what I love to skate.
Yeah, that texture.
It just makes it like so much more rewarding doing like a trick on something like that.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It's
does,
more of a
huh?
challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it could just be like a trick that would be deemed easy in a skate park, but because you did it on this really sketchy ground and obstacle,
Yeah.
And you can like eat a lot
can
of
eat-
shit in DIYs.
The obstacle might actually collapse while you're skating.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know if it was working.
And
Speaking
it's
of
like built by skateboarders.
Yeah.
Like,
skateboarders,
and everyone comes together and like puts in all this money. Like,
That's
it's sick.
right.
I donate money all the time to like DIY parks.
Dude, what's your favorite DIY? Have you got one?
There's one on the Goldie, like in Tweed.
What's it called?
I can't remember what it's called.
There's a few.
What's it
There's a few. They're getting people are getting so much better at it.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what it's called, but it's in Tweed, like just past Tweed Heads, and that place is so sick. You know, Cam.
Oh, you're going to mention his name.
Martin.
So is that the one
Is
he's
it
always...
courtside?
Yeah.
Yeah, Courtside. It's Courtside. Yeah,
that's amazing. What
Is the
those
one where he's
guys
made
have
this,
done.
the couch shape thing? Yeah.
That place is the best.
Yeah, and, like,
it's
they
in the
should-
middle of nowhere.
Right.
And they've been smart about it. They've got a GoFundMe, and you
Yeah.
know, if you're listening, go and donate.
Yeah,
to
donate.
GoFundMe.
Please
yeah.
donate to that
So
because
sick.
we need more stuff.
But I love that too, like that sense of community. And going back to COVID, when skate parks were closed, like there was a DIY spot near where I lived, and it was like no one could go and do anything, but we could actually have this place. And police would like drive past, like, should we bust them? Are they exercising? Is that they're not at a skate park, but they're exercising? They didn't know what to do with this.
Oh, I've
and
got
it
a
just
funny
became
story
like
about
such
that.
a place of solace for so many
Yeah.
people in that area, as opposed to being at home in isolation. And then
Yeah.
they were able to still commune, and like it was.
I got in heaps of trouble,
Why? Skating in COVID.
in COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, because you were posting about it, right?
Well, yeah, it's so bad. But I took the opportunity to. I seen on the Gold Coast that all these skaters went to Wet and Wild, and they skated the slides.
Did they? Well, it was shut.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
closed.
yeah. And I
That's so
seen it,
good.
and I was like, I want to do that. And I was so bummed that I wasn't on the Goldie for it. I was like, damn, like I could be there doing that. And then I was like, wait, there's a water park here in Sydney. And my housemate at the time, I was like, hey, like, do you want to come skate this? And she was like a trooper, and she's like, yep, let's go. Like, let's go skate this. So we went, and it was out of the 5K radius. I was like,
Starters,
whatever. We got there, found a way in, and there was workers there. No one stopped us. We walked in, skated all the slides. I made like a clip of me sneaking in, like skating the slides, posted it on TikTok.
Yes.
Got like 7 million views.
Shit.
And people were tagging the water park.
And what they do?
They contacted the police.
Oh,
No way.
And my full name was on my TikTok, so it was pretty easy for the cops to find me. And I copped a private phone call, like private ID phone call, and I was like, I bet you any money this is the cops.
and
And it was.
Wow.
And they were like, oh, this is, Constable such and such from Blacktown Police. You're going to have to come in. And I was like, what? What for? And he's like, I think you know what you've done. And then I had to go in for an interview with the police. But I took a lawyer with me. So one of my
Wow.
mates, he's a big lawyer.
man, this is like
and
serious shit.
he was like, I'll like come and do it for free.
Can't handle this.
No, you're good.
I want you to sound as keep going.
He's like, oh yeah, teach me how to skate, and I'll like be a lawyer for free, basically. And I was like, done. That's a sick deal, right? So he came in with me to this police interview, and yeah, they were basically like, dude, like, are you serious? Like, why'd you do this? I was like, as if you're not going to. Like, it's
Right.
an opportunity. Like, this has been something I've wanted to do my whole life, is skate a water park. It's COVID, the water's off. Like, I didn't wreck anything, but apparently I influenced a lot of other skaters to go there. Obviously, it went viral, that clip. So that's why they were like pretty bummed about it. And then I basically paid like a fine for trespassing, and he was going to get me for like being out of the 5K
Right.
radius, and that was like going to be $1,000. It was like all these things that they were going to add on top. but because I had my lawyer there, like, I don't think they did it.
the
I don't know.
lawyer
They
so
just like,
lucky,
The
yeah.
lawyer,
they didn't do
the
it.
lawyer, I love
Because
that.
I know that the people on the Goldie that got busted, they had to pay like 15,000 each
For what? Leaving their GT or that area?
for
skating
I don't
or
know,
sorry,
trespassing like this. They've had to pay like
For
big.
trespassing.
Yeah, and I guess maybe they wrecked the slide, or I don't know, but they had to pay big money.
Right.
Whereas I got out of it pretty lucky.
Yeah.
And then right at the end, I'm just going to say it because it happened so long ago and I don't even know who the cop was. But right at the end, the guy like turned his camera off and he was like, "Hey, Amy, like I just want to say my brothers think you're so sick." And they liked that video. And I was like, "Bro,
That's
then
right.
why are you finding me?" Like,
Can I get a selfie?
I was like, "Why are you giving me a fine right now?" But yeah, that happened after like he turned the thing off. I was just like,
But I want to say
That's
something.
funny.
You said that they said to you, "Oh, you influenced so many people to do the same thing."
yeah.
I'm like, no, fuck that. Like,
Yeah.
those people didn't have to do the same thing. They chose to do it.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm so sick of in our society, of people not taking personal responsibility.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
chose to do it and you dealt with the consequences.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
don't go, "Oh, well, they did it, so like I did it because they did it." It's like,
Yeah.
no, fuck
and
off.
they,
Like,
the people that went and watched my clip, they actually like wrecked the slides. So they were going to
Yeah.
charge me
Yeah.
for that. And I was like, you can see in the video, like I purposely didn't, like I wasn't grinding anything or doing anything like that. I was just rolling and like, you know, just using the slides as like a ramp.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I damaged anything. And because of that, I just got the trespassing fine.
Wow.
But
it's rad how you turn up
Good
with a lawyer.
work. Just shut up the
Yeah.
lawyer.
A lawyer that didn't want
flexing,
to,
eh?
a lawyer that didn't want to get paid. Are you serious?
Did you teach him
Yeah.
to skate?
Must be a good dude.
Yeah, well, I still need to teach him. If you're listening, Evan.
Give us a shout. Yeah, yeah, I'm Billy. But speaking of
Yeah.
DIY spots, let's talk about Kieran Woolley ollieing in
Man.
to that tree, roof to tree.
Did you hear, like, there was one of those slams, I swear you can hear the thud of his head hitting the ground. I'm like,
When he just sort of hit the edge of the road, or the
Yeah.
park.
The concrete.
yeah.
Have you seen the new rough cut that Indy put out? So Indy have done like a mile.
seen the full clip.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
And it's just like he went there 4 times.
Yeah.
I just watched that and went, like, I know I love skateboarding, but I watched that and went, fuck, I love skateboarding.
Yeah.
Like, only a skater would think of that,
Yeah.
you know?
And then him, like, after rolling away and, like, just, you know, his laugh that he has. So good.
Yeah.
And did you know that, like, he went to give one of the cameramen, because he had a few cameramen, like
Yeah.
Rhino was one of them,
Right.
and who was the other guy? Jesse, someone? Anyway, he went to give him a high five as he's recording with the camera because he was so hyped, and it knocked the battery out of the camera and lost the footage.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, and it was like, they're like, fuck, you might have to do that again. But it turns out Rhino did got the angles and got an iPhone angle as well. So it was
Oh
okay.
my God.
But he went there 4 times and got
Dude,
beat
got
up
caned.
every single time. And this is what I want to talk to you about. It's like, you know, what skaters do you think blend sport and art? Like, I think Kieran does it the best. Like, he's an Olympian,
Yeah.
but then he's out in the streets
Yeah, something like
and
that.
DIYs and
For
doing
sure.
that shit.
Yeah.
Who else do you think's doing it well? Sorry, it's a hard question on the spot, but
Me and Nigel.
well, Nigel is, eh?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he does it all. If you look at like any of the big top big guns, you know, in the Olympics, they're all doing it pretty well.
Yeah.
A lot of them are getting like, you know, fashion label like Louis Vuitton and like big label like this is crazy.
But I'm with you, Amy. Like, I love seeing skateboarders make money.
Yeah,
I love it. You know, I don't begrudge it. Good.
Yeah.
Like, it's
like
like I
go
said,
for it.
And no, it's so hard to do. Like,
Yeah, it's like
what
about
percentage
time.
of skaters make money off skating?
I want to I'm saving up to buy a house. I want to build a skate park in my backyard. That's the
Nice.
goals. Like, I want to have property. That's what I'm working towards, you know? Like,
Do you think you'll stay in Sydney area, or would you go back to Nah.
nah, yeah, Goldie, for
Righto.
sure. Like, my whole family's in the Goldie. It's cheaper to buy up there. It's starting to
Absolutely.
get expensive, but yeah, it's cheaper than Sydney. I don't think I would ever be able to afford in Sydney, to be honest, eh?
It's not sustainable.
And it's not somewhere where I see myself living for the rest of my life either.
Yeah.
I grew up by the beach. You know, another backstory, like I moved to Fiji when I was 24 years old and lived on a remote island with no no running water, no power, and lived with a Fijian family and surfed every day. So like I like, you know, island vibes and like just having a beach close by.
Yeah.
It's like
So you
that's
don't
real
like-
Easy
special
life.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like trucks beeping their horn at 6 a.m.?
No, that's what happened this morning. I was so tired from that. But yeah.
Wow, so interesting. Phew.
yeah.
It's epic, Amy. So epic. How
Yeah.
you feeling? Tired from talking?
I feel good. Feel good hanging out with you
That's
too.
cool.
Have you got any more clips there, Jock? Have we done them all?
Last one.
Okay.
Oh, is this the tuck knee maybe? Oh no, this one, yeah, true.
And people tell you that make it look so easy. That is pretty sick. Oh, yes.
I think Skate Moss was like, at the
Yeah.
end of that clip, she's like, Amy's my favorite skater now.
That's where is that? I want to.
That's in San Diego,
Okay,
and it is the funnest spot.
looks fun.
I actually, I died on that spot, eh?
Why? What were you doing?
So, in another clip, this is so bad. In another clip, I like had a fireball, and I board slid it while sculling a fireball.
Like a shot.
Yeah, like a little bottle of it.
Oh, okay.
Like in one of those little
Yeah.
tiny
Bar
shots.
one? Little
Yeah.
bar fridge.
And yeah, so I sculled it while I was board sliding, and then like I was like, oh, I got confidence from the fireball. And I was like, I want to try front lip it. And I never really do front lips on ledges or anything. And then everyone's like, yeah, you got that. And then I got into like 2, and I was like, oh, I've got this, next try. And I was like, just went for it, and fully thought I was going to get into the front lip. I full committed, hit my board on the start of the ledge. So I just went whack and just like,
Oh, like you
Like-
got on too early.
yeah, like I like
Just
basically like
yeah,
that's
right.
ledge, and
Yeah.
like I hit here, like my board just went whack, and I went
right.
like that.
Yeah.
So I smashed my chin and
right.
like my chest, and I was winded, and I remember like lying on the ground, and I was like, oh my God, like I'm in so much pain. And then my mouth was hurting so much, and I was like, oh my God, like are my teeth there? Because my mouth was bleeding.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah, your teeth are there, your teeth are there. And I was like, no, like there's something wrong with my mouth. Like, please make sure my teeth are all there. They're like, dude, your teeth are there. And they're like, your chin is open. Like, I've got a scar under here.
no.
Oh, wow.
But like, it was just open, like this big gash. And I was like, I touched it, and they're like, don't touch it. And I was like, I didn't know, you know?
Yeah.
Straight to the bone.
But what happened was, why my mouth was bleeding, and this is what hurt more than my chin, I had actually bitten a chunk from the inside of my cheek. So like
Gnarly.
I bit a whole chunk out, and that's why my mouth was bleeding. But yeah, that spot like
Lucky.
was fun until that happened.
I was going to ask you what's your gnarliest slam with the knee thing, but maybe that's it. Have you had any
Yeah.
other really bad slams?
I did have one, like I had a really gnarly one, which is still giving me problems now at that Miranda Bowl.
Haven't skated yet.
I
Yeah.
haven't skated it either.
It's huge.
Like the
It's
big
big,
bowl,
yeah.
yeah.
It is a massive bowl, and like I was just me and George Richards, we were dropping it in and just like cruising around doing flyouts, like being idiots. So it was like we're just having fun, and then I dropped it in like I don't know 10 times, nothing like it was easy. And then this next one I dropped in, leant too far forward, and got speed wobbles and just got pitched like full force into a
into the other-
wall, and like the whole right side of my body whiplash.
Damn.
Just like I still have like fluid in my hip from it, and yeah, it just was one of the worst slams I've had in a
Right.
long time.
That's
you
a
know,
memorable one.
It's always when you least expect it, eh?
Yeah, totally.
Like when you just cruise.
Especially on tranny too, like
Yeah.
on, when you
It'll
just,
just
hook
come out
up
of
on something,
nowhere.
you're on the flat before you even think about it.
But like with the advent of all these new polished skate parks,
Yeah.
like I do now go around and check like if like there's too much dust on a certain section.
Yeah.
Because sometimes like that real fine dust on those polished skate parks and bowls, like
I just get too excited. I just go like straight in. Like I think I'm like I don't even want to warm up. I'm just like, I just want to skate.
Yeah.
But I can't. I have to warm up now.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
the
for
same.
sure.
Actually, you know what's helped me to keep the longevity going is like foam rolling before a skate.
Oh
is
man,
just
that
now-
thing's amazing.
That just seems like the best warm up, better than
is.
stretching for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't
it
know
is.
why. Just because it fires the
It
nerve
does
endings
fall
as
off.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got these
Instantly warms
pneumatic, like pneumatic
Compression
leg.
boots?
Yeah.
Are they good?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So worth it.
Okay.
Like definitely, if you can afford them, get a pair. If you've got like jelly legs, the next day you just put them on, you're
Right.
ready to go again. So
Yeah.
all the lactic acid goes.
I have to check.
All
them
those Olympians are using them.
out. Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's been so epic, and it's pouring rain. It's probably one of the rainiest days in Sydney. Great day for a podcast. I hope it doesn't affect the audio.
Yeah.
But anyway, is there anything else you want to finish on, Amy?
I'll finish with just have fun in life, skate every day, and be kind to people.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. You're a pleasure. Amy Massey, everyone. You.